All right, what's up, y'all? So today I really want to look into drought protection. That's what I'm going to call it. So we faced a severe drought. We hadn't gotten any rain over the last, I'm going to say, month. But we started getting some rain about last week. But it was about a month, almost a month and a half to 2 months without any rain. One thing that I noticed, now I looked at this, I've been putting off. I'm going to show you. You know, around my trees, I like to grow the comfrey. But at some point during the summer, the comfrey dies, kind of like this. The comfrey dies. Even though it feeds the tree as it dies, it does give way to weeds to take over. Now, toward the spring and the summer of next year, the comfrey is going to take back over. But in the meantime, if you don't cut the grass around your fruit trees, if you got them out, so I got mine mounded up back here because this is a really, really low area. But what I noticed is by not cutting the grass, you kind of insulate your tree, the ground, from that loss of moisture. And you might say, well, if it hadn't rained in a month or 2 months, where does the moisture come from? Especially if you got a couple of acres and you don't have irrigation out to your plants. For us, I think I was able to pull the hose pipe back here one time during the drought. And I just gave them a little water, but not much. I don't even think I needed to do it. I just did it because I came back here watering these over here. As you can see, not much cover on the ground around some of these fruit trees, especially like the kumquat. But these amazed me because even during the drought, they put on new growth. And I was like, wow, how is it doing that? And then it came to me early in the morning. These weeds are filled, look at that, are filled with water. The dew from all of this biomass, all of these little leaves, I'll show you. All of these little leaves are filled with water. That water, some drops off. I mean, you can think the wind's blowing, little animals are moving through here, and it's knocking some of that on the ground. Or the leaves of these weeds are taking up that water and are probably somehow, some way, giving it to its roots so its roots can survive. And if it does that, then in turn, those roots automatically feed that citrus tree. You can't see it now. I wouldn't dare cut the grass away from this thing. If you grow figs, you know figs are notorious for dying during the heat. They can't take much heat. But look at this. In the midst of a drought, no water. It looks really dry down there. But the weeds are just surrounding that root system so that sun couldn't bake that root system. Look at this one. I think moving forward, look at the new growth. Now I see that butterfly that landed some bugs, his little eggs on it, but I'm gonna have to take that one off. But just look at the new growth. All of these, I kept saying, I'm gonna go ahead on and cut this, make it look good. But the more I kept looking at that mound, the more, look at that new growth, the more I kept looking like, it's not hurting the tree. It's not hurting the tree at all. Now I will eventually, because I want the comfrey to grow up, I will eventually, as the winter comes and the fall comes, this is automatically gonna die down. I'll mulch that up on the pile. Look at this one, look at this moringa. Look, I mean, the ground is totally covered. The heat, look at the sun. The heat really can't get to it. Totally covered. That's the insulation. Now, if I had my ground exposed, I got a little critters doing some excavating for me. or tilling, whatever you call it, probably armadillo. None of these are phased. I can't even get a hose pipe back here. None of these are phased, and all of my mounds kind of look the same. Those really don't have anything in them, but I had tried to put some peppers in them. Yeah, I was about to say overwinter, but I tried to put some peppers in these. I don't know what happened. I didn't get back here to water them. So maybe the peppers couldn't take it. I thought I saw a few that were still hanging on, but those more so got drowned out by the weeds. They might still be in there somewhere. But these were some old peppers that were dying out. You can see I didn't water these at all. Plants are going to need a little bit more water because their root systems are way more shallow. But you can see it died up in there. Probably was dying before even before the drought came. But I see something. But you can still see some plants hanging on in there. Still alive. That one's still alive because I can see that's the branch right there. So that one's still alive. But I just put them out here because I didn't have space anywhere else. But you can see, I just think that this is really cool how nature can help itself. That's what I'm looking at. So, drought protection. How to protect your trees during drought. Don't worry about the look of things. Let some of those weeds grow up. And maybe this is because this is on a mound. I don't know. Most of my other trees are not on a huge mound like this. The ones that I actually water, but most of them are. But this is just spectacular to me that I was able to do this and to have it show itself first year. First year me putting this in the ground. If you know anything about transplanting figs, and I use figs because I have some spaces on the property where I don't have it mounded and I don't have weeds all around it, and those figs just die back hard. But right here, this was very important for me to see the amount of weed growth not inhibiting the actual plant development. And you can see here now the comfrey, as those other weeds die back, the comfrey is going to start coming out. And by next spring, the comfrey have been filled up this area. So it's a constant cover of some kind of either weed or medicinal herb, whatever you like as a ground cover around your plants. Thank y'all for watching. See you on the next one.